Hi. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Dwight McKee. I'm the Scientific Director of Lifeplus, a company that I've been involved with for over 30 years. Today, we're going to take you on a virtual tour of our product development and manufacturing process. We have a highly collaborative research and development team. Bob Lemon and I have been formulating products together for over 30 years. George Dust joined us 5 years ago with 25 years of experience in formulating nutritional products. We also have a team of PhDs and technicians who work together in a very free-flowing and creative collaborative process. In the Lifeplus product line, we use over 350 ingredients. But often when we develop a new product, we will bring in a new ingredient that we haven't used before. When this happens, our raw material sourcing specialists will bring in samples from all over the globe, anywhere between 6 and 10 different ones. And we'll study them intensively in the laboratory, and inevitably we'll find one that is superior to all the rest. We then fingerprint that ingredient, and we will be able to tell whenever we order it again if it's exactly the same. Then the production team takes those raw materials in the proportions that we've specified and sees if it will actually work physically to blend together and form a tablet that will stick together in the bottle, yet dissolve easily in your stomach and be highly bioavailable in your body. Then it moves into manufacturing, which we're going to show you in great detail. The tremendous quality commitment and attention to detail that allows us to manufacture the highest quality products week in, week out, year in, year out. I'm speaking to you from the Quality Control Laboratory, which is the heart of the quality of Lifeplus products. So we're going to show you the commitment to excellence, to detail, the passion that we have for producing the best products for you. And I hope that when you finish watching this, you're as excited about it as I am. Thanks very much.
Hello, I'm George Dust, and I'm General Manager of Lifeplus's Research and Development and Manufacturing Facility here in Batesville, Arkansas. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about our Quality Control Group, the heart and soul of our operation. The Quality Control Group drives the entire process, all the way from the sourcing and research and development of new materials to the receipt of the raw materials once they're approved for use, and then through the in-process testing of the products as they're being manufactured, and all the way through to the finished good testing to make sure what's on the label is indeed in that bottle. The Quality Control Group has a variety of functions and uses a variety of equipment to do that. One of the most important pieces of equipment for us is the Fourier Transmission Infrared Spectrometer, or FTIR. This is the piece of equipment that once we identify a raw material that we want to use in our products, we use this equipment to fingerprint that raw material, and then all subsequent shipments of that raw material are checked against that fingerprint to make sure it is the exact same quality as what we initially specified. Some of the other equipment that we use in the laboratory are things in our tablet testing area where we test the friability or the ruggedness of the tablets. The Quality Control Group keeps tabs on the tableting process to make sure that the tablets are being pressed firmly enough, that they're rugged enough, that they'll stay together in the bottle while they're being shipped to the customers, yet they also have to be soft enough to dissolve or be soluble enough in the body so that they are bioavailable to us. Some of the other equipment that we use is in our microbiological laboratory. The microbiological laboratory tests all the raw materials as they're received to make sure there's no microbial contamination present. They also test all the finished goods to make sure that there's no microbial contamination present that we got during the manufacturing process. Some of the other things that people are concerned about is the pesticides and herbicides in our herbal ingredients. We have a gas chromatograph, electron capture detector, and a flame photometric detector to make sure that none of our herbal ingredients and none of our herbal extracts have any sort of pesticide or herbicide residue. Another concern that we often hear from people is solvents. We have a gas chromatograph with a flame ionization detector, FID, that we use to test all of our herbal extracts and many of our other materials to make sure there are no solvents or undesirable chemical compounds in those ingredients. Some other equipment that we use are things such as the Ultra High Performance Liquid Chromatograph, or UPLC. We use that to test for the B vitamins, rutin, hesperidin, active ingredients, and to make sure they're present in the raw material to proper amounts, and also to make sure they're present in the finished product. We have an HPLC, or High Performance Liquid Chromatograph. We use that to test to make sure that the vitamin C is a proper potency, both when received and in the finished goods. We also use the HPLC to test for things such as vitamin A, vitamin D, and the oil-soluble vitamins. Some of the other things that are concerned to people are heavy metals. We have an inductively coupled plasma spectrometer, or ICP, that we use to test all of our herbal products, all of our herbal extracts, to make sure there are no heavy metals present in the material. We also use the ICP to test the mineral content of the raw materials as they're received, and also of the finished goods, to make sure what's claimed on the label is indeed in the bottle. We have a UV-Vis spectrophotometer, and we use that to make sure that all the potency of the grapeseed extract, for instance, that the grapeseed extract has its full potency of OPCs. We have a total organic carbon analyzer, which we don't use on the materials, but we actually use it to test all of our product contact surfaces to make sure there's no contamination from the previous batch or from the cleaning solvents or cleaning chemicals used to test it. We also have a variety of other equipment, such as water baths, sonicators, shakers, pH meters, sieve testers, particle size testers, and a variety of other instrumentation that we use to make sure that the products that we manufacture are of the highest purity and highest quality that can possibly be manufactured. The Inventory Control Group at Lifeplus monitors the level of finished goods at all of our facilities throughout the world. Anytime the level of a finished good drops below a specified amount, the Inventory Control Group will issue a manufacturing order to have that product made. That manufacturing order goes to the Quality Control Group, who will initiate the batch paperwork and assign a unique lot number, and also goes to our purchasing department, who will then begin the purchasing process for all the materials that have been specified in that batch paperwork. As those materials are received here at our facility, the receiving group will check the material to make sure the documentation is all in order. If the documentation is complete and all in order, the Quality Control Group is then alerted, and they come out and inspect the documentation themselves. Once they are satisfied with the documentation package, the material is moved to the sampling booth, where a sample is drawn and taken to the Quality Control Laboratory. Every material that's received at Lifeplus is inspected for identity and at least 5 different microbial contaminants. Then the material may also be tested for strength, potency, purity, and composition. Once the Quality Control Group is satisfied that the raw material is exactly what was specified in the batch record, the material is then released from quarantine and sent out into the general warehouse. The day before material is to be weighed out, all the necessary components are moved from the warehouse up on the mezzanine to the weighing area, where the weighing personnel will begin the weighing process the next day. The weighing process to make a Lifeplus product begins with the Quality Control Group issuing the batch paperwork and assigning a specific lot number to that batch. That lot number will follow that product all the way through the manufacturing process and wind up on the bottle of finished goods when they're done. The Quality Control Group also enters the formula into our computerized weighing system, which completely controls the weighing process. The operators will take the batch paperwork, go to the weighing area, and initiate the computer sequence. The computer will then prompt the operator to weigh a particular item. The operator will get the item, take it into the weighing area, scan the barcode, and the computer knows if he does have the right item number, a valid lot number of that item, and if he has enough of that lot number to do the weighing process. The computer will then allow him to begin weighing it using a dial gauge that shows a green zone, which is his target zone. This target zone is plus or minus 1% of the target weight for that formula. Once the operator has weighed the proper amount of product, the arrow will turn green on the dial gauge, and he will be able to hit the accept button and accept his weight. The computer then records the item number that he weighed, the lot number, the exact amount he weighed, the target amount he weighed, and the operator's initials and the date and time he weighed that material. The operators will continue to this process until all the items for that particular batch have been weighed. They will then take the weighed items and stage them in an area such as this, and quality control will come up and verify the information on all the containers to make sure they have the proper number of containers, the proper weights on the containers, and all the containers are identified with the proper item number and lot number. Once quality control approves the weighing process, the material is then ready to move on to the next step of the process, which is the granulation and compounding stage. After the quality control group has released the batch from the weighing area, it's ready to go to the next step of the operation, which is the granulation and compounding area. The granulation and compounding personnel will move the material that they're going to be mixing and stage them next to the piece of equipment that they're going to use, whether it be a ribbon blender, a Hobart blender, or some other type of mixer. Once they have all the material required by the batch paperwork in that area, quality control comes in and verifies that they have the proper number of containers, they have the proper lot number, and that they have all the material necessary for the blending operation. After quality control has released the blending operation to proceed, they will start the blending operation following the details in the batch paperwork, making sure that they mix the proper amount of material for the proper amount of time. At the end of their blending operation, they'll take a sample of the mixed material to the quality control lab where the blend operation is verified using the FTIR and to make sure that all the material is present and blended properly. Once the QC lab has released the blend, the production people will then take the material, blended material, and put it into large containers such as this or similar containers and the materials then ready to go to either the tableting, encapsulation, or powder filling operation. In the tableting area, we have several different presses that we use to press the variety of Lifeplus products. Each of the presses has a slightly different design and imparts slightly different characteristics to the finished tablet. We can alter the tablet diameter, the tablet thickness, and many of the other qualities of the tablet depending upon which press we select for our product. At the end of the development stage for a new product, we will have a press determined and all future runs of that product will be run on that same press. Things that we consider in that are things such as friability, which is the ruggedness or the ability of the tablet to stay together, to hold together in the bottle while it's being shipped. Another very important consideration for us is the disintegration time or the solubility of the product, so that once you consume it, it goes ahead and dissolves and is bioavailable to your body. To begin the tableting process, production will move the containers of the powder to be tableted to a staging area upstairs in the mezzanine overhead. From there, the powder is gravity fed into the hoppers on the tablet press. The tablet press then takes the material through a feed frame, dispenses it into the dies, and the upper and lower punches press the powder, the exact amount of powder, into a tablet. The lower die then kicks the tablet back out of the die table and off onto a chute where it goes through a deduster for storage. Tableting at the beginning of the production process stages their material, and then quality control comes in and approves the material to be tableted. The production people will then take the powder, start the tablet press, and begin making adjustments to the tablet press until they've achieved the proper thickness and weight of the tablet according to the batch records and specifications for that particular product. Once the production people are satisfied that the press is working properly, quality control comes in, collects their own sample, and they will verify the weight, the thickness, check the friability, and also the disintegration time to make sure all the necessary specifications are being met for that product. Once quality control releases the press to begin full production, production will begin, and the tableting production personnel will check the tablets every 15 minutes to make sure the proper weight and thickness are being delivered by the tablet press. Quality control will come in every 30 minutes, collect their own sample, verify weight and thickness, and again check friability and disintegration as required for the product. This process continues with both production and quality control continuously testing the product as it's being pressed to make sure that all the specifications have been met for that particular product. At the end of the run, Quality control pulls a final sample and then verifies the weight of the material that was tableted to ensure that the proper yield for that production was met. The final step in the tableting process is to load the tablet cores into the coating pan. Quality control will come in, check and verify that the appropriate lot of material is in the coating pan, and the coating operator is then released to go ahead and begin the coating process. The coating operator then adds a thin coat of shellac, a tree-based resin, onto the material, and this binds with the outer surface of the tablet and achieves three things. The first thing it does is help protect the tablet and ensure the friability of the tablet, the ruggedness, protect the tablet from physical damage. The second thing it does is keeps the tablets and the active ingredients in the tablets from being exposed to either air, light, or moisture. The third thing that it does is, because many vitamins have a very strong smell and a lot of our herbal components have a very strong smell, it masks the smell and the taste of the tablet, and it also slickens the tablet up a little bit, making it easier to swallow when you consume the finished good. This is our packaging area where we package and bottle all the materials that we produce at this facility. Each day at the start of each production run, the production people will load the hoppers with the empty bottles, they load them with caps, they load the pill counter with the various tablets or pills to be bottled that day, labels are put on, and the lot coating system is ready. Once everything is ready to run, quality control comes in and verifies that we've got the proper number of containers, we've got the right lot number, we have everything is in accordance with the batch paperwork for that production. Once quality control releases the production line to begin running, they will start the process up, and then quality control will come back every 30 minutes and double check to make sure the proper number of tablets are still going into the bottles, everything, the lot number is still very legible on the product, the labels are still going on straight, everything is in accordance with our batch paperwork. The production people also perform 30-minute checks to make sure that everything is done in accordance with the batch paperwork. Production starts out with the bottle actually going into a hopper and into the descrambler. It then goes through a deionized air blast to empty out any dust or particles that may have been accumulated, although there shouldn't be any. The bottle is then inverted and stood back up on the conveyor line to be filled by the tablet counter. The bottles proceed down the conveyor line to the tablet counter, and they are filled 2 bottles at a time through 2 separate counting heads. Each head has 6 different electronic eyes that count the number of tablets that pass by it and go into the bottle. When the proper number of tablets are in each bottle, gates close and don't allow any more tablets to go into the bottle. If there's something happens and a broken tablet or 2 tablets stuck together happen to go through the tablet counter, the tablet counter has a rejection arm that will reject that. The tablet counter will also reject any underfilled or overfilled containers. Once the properly filled container is ready to proceed, the gates on the tablet counter will open and allow those 2 bottles to continue down the line, and 2 more bottles will begin to be filled. From the tablet counter, the next step of the process is the cotton inserter. The cotton inserter tears a small piece of cotton and puts it in each bottle and then tamps it in securely. Once the cotton is added to the bottle, it's then ready to go on to the next step of the process, which is the metal detector. This metal detector is very sensitive and can detect down to sub-millimeter sized metal particles in the product, no matter where it's at in the product. After the material has passed through the metal detector, the next step is to add the lid to the container. The lid is picked up by the container as it goes down the line, and then a set of quills reverse the thread so that everything's aligned for proper tightening of the lid. The next 3 sets of quills then tighten those lid down on the container, so we now have a sealed container. The full seal is contained in the lid, and as the bottle passes under the induction sealer, the full is sealed to the container, and we now have a tamper-evident bottle ready for packaging. After we have the seal placed on the bottle, we then put a label on it and then a unique lot number for that particular lot, and a best before date, if necessary, is added to the bottle. The bottles then continue down the line to the accumulation table, where they are collected by the production personnel and put in boxes or other containers for shipment or handling. At this point, the bottle finished good is considered to be under quarantine, and we will hold it for a minimum of 5 days while we test for additional microbial contamination and also to test the potency, purity, and that of the finished goods to make sure what we say is on the label is indeed in the bottle where it's supposed to be. That process may take up to 15 days for us to complete to make sure you can be guaranteed that what's on the label is in the bottle and then in the product that you're consuming. The powder filling operation is very similar to the tablet filling operation. The empty canisters go through the scrambler and the inverter and are placed upon the conveyor line to be filled. They proceed down the conveyor line to the powder filler, where each canister is lifted up to the powder hopper, filled with a specified amount of material, and lowered back and placed upon the conveyor line. The canister then proceeds across to checkware to make sure the proper weight was achieved. If the proper weight was achieved, it's allowed to go on down the conveying line to the metal detector, and then to the capper, to the labeler, and to the ink jetter until the finished product arrives at the accumulation table.
I hope you've enjoyed this glimpse into the inner workings of how Lifeplus products are developed and then manufactured to consistent and exacting standards. I'm often asked what makes Lifeplus products so special. I hope, now that you've viewed this series of videos, that you can now answer that question.